going to talk about completed square form. Okay. The first question you see, here we have a completely expanded form. In the lesson yesterday, we discussed how to sketch graphs when we have quadratic expression in expanded form. So today we're going to learn how to change an expanded form of quadratic equation into this form. This form is called completed square form because we have a square term here. If you notice this, x minus h whole square, this is a square term. So if you convert an expanded quadratic equation into a completed square form, it makes it easier to sketch the curve, and also it makes it easier to solve the equation as well. You don't have to use middle term breaking, which is factorization, and you don't have to use quadratic formula. You can use completed square form directly to solve the equation. So in this lesson, we're going to learn how to convert an expanded quadratic expression into completed square form, like in part A of the question. And then we learn how to find maximum point or minimum point of the sketch or of the curve, which would be part B of the question. And then we learn how to sketch the curve from completed square form, which would be part C of the question. And in part D, we learn how to solve a quadratic equation from completed square form. So let's start. In part A, we have to convert expanded form, which is 3x squared plus 12x plus 17 into completed square form, which is this form. So now you have two methods. Let's discuss both of them. In the first method, what you do, you take the constant outside the bracket. So what can we factorize here? What constant can be taken outside the bracket? It's going to be 3. So you can take out 3. So 3 goes outside of the bracket. And then you have x squared plus 4x and plus 17. Right? Now what we'll do is try to change this into completed square form. Yep. What do we have here? We have, let's write 3 and then brackets and plus 17. So I'm going to write this as, remember this formula from O levels, a square plus 2ab plus b square. This is equals to a plus b whole square. So we're going to change this into a square plus 2ab plus b square. Let's see. So we already have x square. So a square to aa gaya. A square plus 2 times a is this. Now what should be b? B should be 2 as well. 2. Exactly. So that this becomes 4x. Okay. So x square plus 2x2 and plus, it's a square plus 2ab plus b square. So what's missing? We have to add the square of 2 here. But अब ये जो है ये ऊपर नहीं था, ये हमने खुद से add किया. It's not present over here. We don't have an extra plus 4 in the question. So since we've added a plus 4 in the question, we'll also subtract it from here. We can write minus 2 square over. So that we haven't changed the question. बीच में एक 2 square add किया और उसको subtract भी कर दिया. So now what we'll do is we just need this part to get the completed square form. ये part चाहिए. Right? So this part changes into, I'm writing 3 outside still, and this orange part changes into a plus b whole square from this identity over here. A square plus 2ab plus b square equals a plus b whole square. And then this was left. This is going to be minus 4. I'm going to write minus 4 outside of the bracket and then plus 17. Now I'm going to expand 3x plus 2 whole square minus.
minus 4 कहाँ से आए?
ये जो हमने एक साथ इधर नहीं किया था, +2 भी किया था, +2 स्क्वायर भी किया था, और -2 स्क्वायर भी किया था।
तो वो कैंसिल आउट नहीं हो जाता?
नहीं, वो नहीं करना ना, वो इसलिए नहीं करना बिकॉज वी नीड कंप्लीटेड स्क्वायर फॉर्म। वो तो तब आएगा जब आपके पास A² +2AB +B² होगा। तो वो जो
ओके।
2 स्क्वायर है वो उसकी तो हमें जरूरत है। सो वो 2 स्क्वायर यूज कर लिया ताकि हमारे पास x+2 होल स्क्वायर आ जाए, लेकिन एक -4 रह गया। ठीक है,
ठीक है
उस
मिस।
-4 को सेपरेटली लिखे। एंड देन 3 टाइम्स -4 इज -12 and +17. So the final completed square form is 3x+2 whole square plus this is 5. This would be the completed square. That's one way of doing this.
हो गया।
Okay. Okay. Let's discuss another way of doing it without using the identity. That method is called expand and compare. Okay. So I'm equating it to a x minus h whole square plus k, because we have to bring that into this form. Now I'm going to expand the right hand side. A
मिस ये मिस सॉरी मिस, ये सेकंड वाला एक्सपैंड एंड कंपेयर है या फर्स्ट वाला मेथड है एक्सपैंड
फर्स्ट
एंड
वाला
कंपेयर?
था कंप्लीट, नहीं फर्स्ट वाला नहीं था expand and compare. This one is expand and compare. ठीक है, this method is called expand and compare. So I'm going to expand x minus h whole square a square minus 2ab plus b square plus k. Okay. Let's further expand it. Ax square minus 2ahx plus ah square plus k. And this is equals to 3x square plus 12x plus 70. So now you compare the coefficients. So we have 3 here as coefficient of x square, and we have a here as coefficient of x square. That means a is actually 3. Then we have 12 as the coefficient of x here and minus 2ah as coefficient of x here. So 12 equals minus 2ah and a is 3.
वैसे एज 4 होगा।
h हो गया 4,
टू
कैसे
टू टू सॉरी
-2
टू।
होगा, -2.
यस माइनस
12 is equals to -6h and h is equals to -2. Okay, now we need to find k. So then we compare the constants on both sides. So the constant here is just 17 and the constant here is ah square plus k. So 17 equals ah square plus k. So 17 equals 3 times -2 whole square plus k. So that is 17 is equals to 3 times 4, 12 plus k. So k equals 5.
मिस, लेकिन ये सही है।
So the completed square form is a is outside of the bracket 3, 3, and then x minus 8. So x minus -2 becomes +2 whole square plus k is +5. So that is 3 times x plus 2 whole square plus 5. Yeah. Okay, that's the completed square form. So we're done with part A using 2 different methods. Part B, state the largest or smallest value of y and its corresponding value of x. Part B, they're asking you to find the coordinates of the turning point. Coordinates of the turning point. So what you do for that, you equate this bracket to 0. Part B, you equate this bracket to 0. What do we get when we equate x plus 2 to 0?
Miss x is equals to -2.
-2. So the x coordinate is -2 of the turning point, and the y coordinate stays the same. This is the y coordinate, which is 5. For y coordinate, you do not change the sign. So these are the coordinates of the turning point of the graph. So x is equals to -2 and y is equals to 5. That's part B. Okay. Part C says, hence sketch the graph of 3x squared plus 12x plus 17. So if you have completed square form, you don't have to use the method we learned yesterday to sketch the graph. Isme we use transformations. Okay. So we know the turning point. What is that? -2, which is here, comma 5, which is here. So this is going to be the turning point. Now, is it going to be a U-shaped graph or an inverted U-shaped graph?
So it's going to be a U-shaped graph.
U-shaped graph because it's plus 3x squared. The coefficient is positive. So the graph is going to be U-shaped. So it's going to go like this. That's the turning point and it goes like this. Achha. Questions में अक्सर क्या होता है stating the coordinates of the stating the values of the intercept. So you have to show where the value is cutting, where the graph is cutting the x-axis or the y-axis. That means we still need to tell the value of this intercepting point here. This is where x is 0. So when you substitute x is equals to 0 here, what is left? Substitute x is equals to 0 here.
Miss 17.
So the constant is always the y-intercept. Whatever is the constant of your graph, of the curve, that is the y-intercept of the curve. Okay, plus 17 is the constant, so plus 17 is the y-intercept. So this is the graph of the given expression, 3x squared plus 12x plus 7. Okay, done with part C. Part D. Using your answer to part A, solve the equation y is equals to 3x squared plus 12x plus 17. Now you can't use factorization if it's possible. You can't use quadratic formula. You have to use completed square method to solve this because question में कह दिया hence. So it says hence by using your answer to part A. So now what we'll do, we'll change the expression to 3x plus 2 whole square plus 5. Uski form change kar di. And whenever you're solving a quadratic equation, you equate it to 0. Right? So now we're going to send 5 to the other side. It becomes -5. Then we send 3 to the other side. It becomes 3. So we have x plus 2 whole square. To get rid of the square, we have to take square root of both sides. So x plus 2 equals square root of -5 over 3, but this gives no solution. So this can't be further solved.
Yes.
Yeah, there's no solution. So these are all parts of question 1. Question 2. All right, can I copy the next part or do I wait for a few minutes?
इस हो गया।
Okay, so exactly same parts. In first part, we have to change the expanded form into completed square form. So we can use one of the two methods we've learned. What method should we use, Abu Bakr? पहला वाला या दूसरा वाला? Expand and compare वाला जो दूसरा था या जो पहला था जिसमें हम identity use कर रहे थे a plus b whole square की?
इस पहला कर लें।
A plus b whole square identity. Okay. So part A, x square plus x minus 5. So the first step is you take the coefficient common here. Whatever can be taken common, there's nothing common, so you can take one common. So 1 is common, x square plus x, and keep the constant to the side, minus 5. Now you have to change this into completed square form. इसके bracket के बाहर square लाना है. So that will be done by using this identity, a square plus 2ab plus b square, and that is equals to a plus b whole square, right? So this would be 1 is outside. This would be a square, so x square plus 2 times a. Now what should be b?
मिस एक्स।
नहीं, x तो है ना, यहाँ ऑलरेडी है. 2 आ गया, a आ गया, b क्या होना चाहिए?
मिस 1।
1 नहीं होना चाहिए. अगर यहाँ 1 हुआ तो ये मिलके तो 2x बन रहा है, बट यहाँ पे तो x है, ऊपर
मिस
x है.
1/2।
हाँ, हाफ होना चाहिए. यस. सो b विल बी हाफ एंड प्लस b स्क्वायर होता है. सो प्लस b स्क्वायर, बट अब ये मैंने खुद से ऐड कर दिया है इक्वेशन में, ये तो नहीं था. -5 तो
माइनस।
है, बट ये मैंने खुद से ऐड किया. दिस इज नॉट पार्ट ऑफ द एक्चुअल क्वेश्चन, so I will also have to subtract this minus half square. Okay. Now, next step would be that you merge these 4 into a plus b whole square. Sorry, merge these 3. So we have
मिस
1
एक्स प्लस
side,
1/2।
x plus half whole square, that is correct. And outside you have minus 1/4 and then minus 5. Now we're going to further expand the brackets. So we have 1 times x plus half whole square minus 1/4 minus 5, which is 1 times x plus half whole square minus, what is this, minus 1/4.
मिस हम लोग ये 1 को छोड़ नहीं सकते बस, क्योंकि ये इससे फर्क ही नहीं पड़ता कुछ।
हाँ, लेकिन बाद में हमें a की वैल्यू लिखनी होगी ना. उन्होंने कहा उस फॉर्म में लिखें. a ब्रैकेट के बाहर है तो आपने ब्रैकेट के बाहर कुछ तो लिखना है. ठीक है, ना भी लिखो तो मेरा नहीं ख्याल इतना फर्क पड़ेगा. -21/4. Okay, so now let's come. So we've changed it into the required form. Let me check the answer from the back.
Just completing the square के questions कितने often आते हैं पेपर में?
हर पेपर में आता है. कोई पेपर नहीं होगा जिसमें कंप्लीटेड स्क्वायर फॉर्म नहीं होगा. ओके. अच्छा, एक और तरीके से कर लेते हैं. What's the second method we learned? Expand and compare. Let's do that. So I'm clearing this and we're going to do expansion and comparing. Same. Okay. For that, you equate it to the required expression. Equate it to a x minus h whole square plus k. Quickly expand it. We have a square minus 2ab plus b square plus k. So that becomes ax square minus 2ahx plus a8 square plus k and equated to x square plus x minus 1. Now you're going to compare the coefficients of x square on both sides, the coefficients of x on both sides, and the constant on both sides. So when you compare the coefficient of x square, you have a at one end and just 1 here. This is 1. So that means a equals 1. Now we're going to compare the coefficients of x on both sides. We have minus 2a here and then 1 here. So 1 equals minus 2a. Sorry, there's h as well. The coefficient of x at the right hand side is minus 2ah. So minus 2ah. A is already 1. So minus 2h. So h is minus half. And now we compare the constants on both sides. So the constant here is minus 5 and the constant here is all of this. A8 square plus k. So minus 5 equals A8 square plus k. So minus 5 equals 1 times minus half square plus k. So minus 5 equals 1 by 4k. So plus k. So k equals minus 5 minus 1 by 5. Sorry, minus 5 minus 1 by 4. It is minus 21 by 4. So the completed square form is a is 1. H minus half bracket whole square plus k is minus 21 by 4. It's going to be 1 times x plus half whole square minus 21 by 4. This is the completed square. Using expanding and comparing. Let me write that here. 1 times x plus half whole square minus 21 by 4. Okay. Clearing this. Part B. State the largest or the smallest value of y and its corresponding x. So, do you remember from the last part, how do we find the coordinates of turning point from the completed square form? Yaad hai? Equate this to 0. What do we get?
X is equals to negative half.
Yes, negative half, comma, retain the sign of the constant. Y wohi rehta hai, which is
20,
minus
21 over 4.
minus 21, minus 21. Okay, these are the coordinates of turning point. In part C, you have to sketch this. So let's sketch the turning point first. Minus half is here and minus 21 by 4. That is minus 5.25. That is here. So this is our turning point. Achha. Now I'm going to make a curve. Will it be a U-shaped curve or an inverted U-shaped curve?
Yes, it will be a U-shaped curve.
Yes, because it is 1x square. So coefficient of x square is positive. Now, अब देखो यूं भी बन सकती है कर्व. कुछ बच्चे ऐसे बनाएंगे और कुछ बच्चे इसको ना ऊपर से गुजारेंगे यहाँ से. अब which one is correct? You have to read the y-intercept from the original curve. क्या होता है y-intercept? जो constant होता है. So what's the constant here? Minus 5. So that means this is the right one. ये जो minus 5 से गुजर रहा है. ठीक है? The first one is, the upper one is incorrect. नीचे से negative part से गुजर. ठीक है? Just a second. All right. Next part D. Using your answer to part A, solve this equation. So we're going to solve this equation.
मिस ये पार्ट सी में हमने मिस इसको स्केच करना था.
Part C में sketch करना था.
Okay.
पार्ट डी में कंप्लीटेड स्क्वायर फॉर्म को सॉल्व करना है. Equated to 0. So minus 21 over 4 goes to there's a whole square here. So x plus half whole square equals 21 by 4. And then we take square root on both sides, x plus half. Square root, with square root you must write plus minus here. And then you send half to the other side, it becomes minus half. And then plus minus square root 21 over 4. Now enter this in your calculator, first with the positive sign, then with the negative sign, and you get your two solutions. X equals, what do we get? The answer at the back says 1.79 and the other one is minus 2.79. Let's check. So minus half and then plus square root fraction 21 by 4. That is equals to 1.79. And when I change it to negative, outside the square root of sign, I get minus 2.79. So you're getting the two answers, but we did not solve the quadratic equation using factorization or the quadratic formula. We solved it using the completed square form, as was the requirement of the question. Question 3.
मिस आज हम बहुत तेज नहीं जा रहे.
क्या करें, एक ही जैसे
नहीं, सही.
क्वेश्चन है ना. एटलीस्ट 6 हम आज प्रैक्टिस करेंगे और मैं 1-2 होमवर्क के लिए. एंड दीज आर वेरी स्मॉल क्वेश्चंस. ये कोई सर्कल के क्वेश्चंस थोड़ी हैं कि 12 मार्क का एक क्वेश्चन है. ये तो आई थिंक 5-6 मार्क का क्वेश्चन आएगा. इट शुडंट टेक यू दैट लॉन्ग. Okay, now tell me, do we do part A by expanding and comparing or by using the trigonometric identity?
पहली वाली कर लें.
Ryan, आप क्या कह रहे हो?
Miss expanding.
चलो ये वाला expand and compare से कर लेते हैं, अगले वाला first method से करते हैं. Okay, so part A, 3x square minus 27x plus 50 equals ax minus h whole square plus k. Expand this a, and then x minus h whole square would be a square minus 2ab plus b square plus k, and then completely expanded ax square minus 2 ahx plus ah square plus k. And the left hand side is 3x square minus 27x plus 50. Now what's the next step?
Miss, a is equals to 3.
Yes, compare the coefficients. Here the coefficient of x square is 3. Here the coefficient of x square is a. That means they must be equal. 3 equals a. Next.
Miss, then we compare the coefficient of x.
Yes. So that's minus 27 here.
Yes.
And minus 2ah. So minus 27 equals minus 2ah. Minus minus gets cancelled. A can be replaced with 3. So we have 27 is equals to 6h and h is equals to 27 by 6 is 4.5. Okay. Next, we equate the constants on both sides. So the constant at the left is 50 and the constant at the right is ah square plus k. The non-x term is the constant. So 50 equals ah square plus k. 50 equals 3 times 4.5 whole square plus k So k equals 50 minus 3 times 4.5 whole square. What is that? 50 minus 3 into 4.5 square is minus 10.75. Let me quickly check the answers for 3A at the end of the worksheet. ठीक है ये minus and minus. Okay. So the completed square form is, I'm writing it at the top. A is 3. And then x minus h is 4.5 whole square minus 10.75. Part B. I personally find this method easier, but हर किसी की अपनी अपनी preference होती है. कुछ students को ये बिल्कुल नहीं पसंद आता, पहला वाला method पसंद आता है. Absolutely up to you. Okay. Now let's do part B, which is just asking us to find the coordinates of the turning point of this expression. क्या होगा coordinates of turning point?
मिस x होगा -4.5.
नहीं, इसको equals to 0 करते हैं. You equate this to
4.5.
yes. So x is 4.5, comma, y is
-10.75.
for y, you just copy the constant with its exact sign. For x, you have to change the sign. Minus 4.5 became plus 4.5. But for y, it's just the constant. So this is going to be where the graph turns. Now in part C, we have to sketch this. So first, let's sketch the turning point and then see if it's going to be U or an upside down U. And then we'll take care of the rest. 4.5 is here. And minus 10.75 is here. So this is the coordinate of turning point. Since the coefficient of x square is positive 3, so it's going to be a U-shaped graph. I have to be careful कि मैं ये इस U को यहाँ से गुजारूंगी, मतलब negative y से गुजारूंगी या positive y से गुजारूंगी, बताएं.
और मिस ये जो पॉइंट के थ्रू गुजर रहा है,
किससे गुजर रहा है?
पॉइंट के थ्रू.
पॉइंट के थ्रू क्या मतलब?
मिस जो ये नीचे वाला है.
नीचे वाला ठीक है. तो आप कह रहे हो कि ये जो कर्व है ये आपके y एक्सिस को नेगेटिव y एक्सिस पे कट करेगी, ये कह रहे हो?
यस.
पर यहाँ तो देखो आपका जो कांस्टेंट है वो 50 है. ये जो कांस्टेंट होता है ना, ये ग्राफ का y इंटरसेप्ट होता है. सो दैट इज 50. तो यहाँ नहीं होगा कट, ऊपर होगा कट. ठीक है. गोइंग टू बी 50. तो लेट्स से 50 इज हियर. 50 अगर हम स्केल को एग्जैक्टली फॉलो करें तो 50 काफी ऊपर होना चाहिए क्योंकि ये डिस्टेंस 10 है. सो 10, 20, 30, 40, 50. सो स्केलिंग का भी ध्यान रखना चाहिए बाय द वे. सो लेट्स अज्यूम दिस इज 50. सो इट्स गोइंग टू बी समथिंग लाइक दिस. बहुत बड़ा ग्राफ बना है बट इस तरह करके कुछ होगा. हैज टू पास थ्रू 50. All right, and it has to be a very symmetric curve. यहाँ से और ये symmetric होता है. It should be exactly symmetrical along this line. Left or right graph symmetric होना चाहिए around the turning point. Okay, part D says using your answer to part A, solve this equation. So we can't solve this directly. We have to change its form to 3x minus 4.5 whole square minus 10.75 equals 0. By the way, जब हम quadratic equation solve करते हैं ना, तो वो हमें इसकी वैल्यू देते हैं, x इंटरसेप्ट की, इसकी और इसकी. So ये values आती हैं quadratic equation solve करके, where your graph at the x axis. इसीलिए जो हमने पहला ग्राफ किया था, it was not cutting the x axis at all. So that is why हमारा no solution आ रहा था, उस square root के अंदर negative value आ रही थी, because the graph was not touching the x axis at all. So let's solve this. First, minus 10.75 has to go to the right. 10.75. Then 3 has to go to the right. It gets divided. And then you take square root. So this gets cancelled and you write a square root here. With square root, you must write plus minus. And then x equals 4.5 plus minus square root 10.75 divided by 3. So that gives 4.5.
4.5 पे 6.39 आता है.
Let me check. 6.39 is correct with the positive sign.
And with the negative, it's 1.892.
Let me check that as well. No. With negative, it's
Miss,
not 1 point something.
Miss,
Negative.
it's 2.607.
यहाँ पे नेगेटिव है. 4.5 के साथ तो नहीं नेगेटिव लगा दिया. 4.5 is going to be positive.
इस मैंने 4.5 के साथ.
हाँ नहीं, उधर है. प्लस माइनस अंडर रूट के साथ होता है ना.
ये
So
2.607.
हाँ, 2.60. Okay. Let's do one more question because they're all pretty much the same. अब एक upside down वाला question कर लेते हैं जिसमें inverted U है. That is
मिस नया लिंक भेज दें. अगर मिस नया लिंक भेज दें, खत्म होने वाला है.
Oh yes, ठीक है, मैं नया लिख भेजती हूँ. See you.